Welcome back, backcourters. We are, of course, doing our 8-part mini-series. It's like a Netflix series. You binge them all at once if you want, or you can wait, or you can get eager. You can get ahead of it. Summer, I turn pretty stuff. We're here at Faraday's Cage again. Lovely coffee spot, great coffee, great people. Isn't it, Liv? Yes,
we love it.
We love it. We're here. We're up to the Swifts. We're talking about the Swifts and their signing window, their list analysis, how they went last year, what the hell's going on. We're going to critique their socials. We didn't like it. We didn't like what they were doing.
No.
It was smug. Stop, just announce them. I've had enough of it.
They were in comment sections that they shouldn't have been in.
Exactly. They were. And we were onto them. Anyway, we're going to look at the Swifts. And we're qualified to tell people, professional sporting clubs too, what they're doing wrong, Liv, I think. You've obviously won multiple premierships in the last 6 weeks. I was almost good at a sport. So I think that qualifies us to tell the New South Wales Swifts, who have won multiple premierships over the course of many decades, how they fucked up. So let's get into it. They finished second on the ladder, but third overall because they crashed out in straight sets. They won 10, lost 4. I think they won their first 8 or 9. They went the whole way round, and then they just ran out of juice, as we've found out over recent times, that a few players were carrying injuries and
pregnancies
and
child
and babies. So the ins this year, Maddy Proud is back after having her first child.
Well, she's back, but it hasn't been officially announced.
No,
so
well,
she's signed, but there's sort
well, no,
of
I think she had a contract.
Silence. She's got a contract.
Yeah, so she's.
And we're assuming that she's come back, but we actually haven't heard anything from the Swifts to confirm that she'll be playing.
Well, you've come out swinging here this episode.
Well,
Grace White has been upgraded to the 10.
It's a fairy tale ending for Grace White.
Isn't it? Snow White. I'm very happy for that. I think Grace did. She played every game in the end, I think, as an 11th player. Not the only 11th player to be promoted this year, but she did really well. And she's, again, as we've mentioned with the first 2 pods, very versatile player. And Tayla Fraser returns from the Mavericks. We've had, again, the Mavericks are probably going to be the most interesting club. We keep talking about them because all their players that they signed at the start have since left. But Taylor's back at the Swifts. She was very excited to be back at the Swifts.
Homecoming.
And now that she's played a lot more time in wing attack, she can play across all 3 positions, which helps. The outs, Verity Simmons, who replaced Maddy Proud, has been told, thank you, Verity, for your efforts, but no worries. Sophie Fawns has gone to the Manchester Thunder to seek game time, which is fair enough. Paige Hadley recently announced that she's expecting her first child, so we're going to assume that takes her out of the season.
Yeah.
And Allie Smith, I am shattered by this one because I really like the work of Allie Smith. She's been delisted. I cannot believe that. Now, she probably will replace Paige.
Yeah, true. She probably will.
A lot of clubs do that, like Tilly McDonald with the Giants. But that's the changes. Their 10 is Grace Nweki, which is probably the biggest news.
Yep.
Helen Housby, Grace White. I'm putting her in the goalers.
Yep.
Maddy Proud, Paige Hadley, again, she'll be replaced. Shani Lambden got another contract. Tayla Fraser. Tegan O'Shannessy, who had a great season. Maddy Turner and Sarah Clow. So, the Swifts, we finally got to a team that did something.
And so, I want to start at the top with the headline, which for me was Grace Nweki.
Okay, there we go. I didn't know where you were going with that.
She came out with posting the most cryptic season wrap-up on socials.
I like that she knows that netball fans like to think of themselves as investigators, and she's thought, wow, I'll send you down the wrong trail.
Yeah.
So
she posted this season wrap-up with all these highlights, but it was certainly was implying that she wasn't planning on.
Well, a lot of people read between the lines
Swifts.
that she was going back to New Zealand.
A lot of people did read between the lines that she was going back to New Zealand, and obviously probably a lot of it was around the Silver Ferns eligibility, which since has been lifted.
I think people forget how young she is too. She did move across, well, not the world, but she did move away from home, yeah.
Yeah, but so she's re-signed with the Swifts, so I'm really interested to see how she goes going into a second season. For me, that was the headline. Tayla Fraser obviously returning to the Swifts, and Maddy Brown coming back. That's going to be...
Proud. Did you say Brown?
Yeah, I said Brown. I meant Proud.
That would be a sign. Maybe she's replacing Paige Hadley. You heard it here first.
A backcourt exclusive.
Yeah.
I think they're looking strong for next year.
Yeah.
They also all seemed absolutely gutted by...
Yeah, well, you would be.
Yeah, the way that their season finished. So I think
they all looked very frustrated by the end too.
Yes.
And as we've seen, you don't actually want to be... I think people will say that people figured Grace out. Well, maybe she'll figure them out after a year. But they ran out of steam. Like I said, I like the Tayla Fraser one because she's now competent at all 3 positions.
Yeah.
Whereas the reason she moved was to actually get more court time in an attacking position. And she was, in the end, the starting wing attack for the Mavs. So this is a good thing because the problem with the Swifts was when Paige had to play 2 positions. Well, they wanted her to.
Yeah.
The problem is Maddy Proud will come back and they'll have the same problem. So that's why
Yeah.
Tayla Fraser is a good signing.
I agree. And for me, the other big story out of this is obviously Sophie Fawns, who
Yes.
wasn't getting nearly enough court time.
any court time.
She had, next to no court time this season.
Until the back end of the year, yeah.
Which I find really interesting in hindsight as well, because in my mind, a lot of what went wrong for the Swifts was that they weren't able to make changes in that goaling end. They sort of became like a one-trick pony with that Housby and Wecky combo in goals. And I think their season could have had a different outcome if they had have injected Sophie Fawns in and were able to be a little bit more versatile up that goaling end.
It's a hard one though, isn't it? Because you're probably paying... They're probably 2 of the best 4 goalers in the world. You got Janelle, probably got Kira Austin, and then you've got Grace and Helen, I'd say. Are you top 4 in the world. So if you take one of them off, put Fawns on, then you lose. Everyone's like, who the hell takes Grace Wecky off?
Yeah.
So I do think that's the... And you got to say to Sophie, good on you, because a lot of, like you said, it would have been very easy to sit there, keep cashing checks, and be comfortable living in your home state. But she's gone, you know what? I'm not going to get on court. Let's go have a European summer. Tyler Orr inspired her with the premiership.
I think, I was really interested to see how this was going to play out. I'm glad she's bitten the bullet because it looks like she's living pretty cushy, like in Sydney.
Well, they had that. She's in the share house with Turner and Smith. Turner and Smith.
And that looks like a lot. That house looks like a lot of fun. So being able to sort of turn that down and say, no, I need to go elsewhere and get some experience over in London. I think she'll come back in a year or so, and she'll be a lot stronger because of it.
Well, why wouldn't you? You're going to be what? She'll be early 20s getting paid to play sport in Europe. And then, as we said with Tyler Orr, it's a lot cheaper to fly from England, Manchester to Spain and Portugal and Italy than it is fly from Sydney.
Yeah,
so it's a very smart financial decision.
I also think, let's not forget how young she is. So I think there'll be a lot of personal development that comes with moving over to the UK. So I think she'll come back a lot stronger. But
the only other one, so you've got here that the backup. So like I said, we put Grace White as the 3rd goaler.
Yeah.
But she played about 8 minutes in goals this year. It's one of those ones where, like we said, they're not hamstrung, but they've put their chips in on Housby and Wecky dominating.
Yeah.
And it is interesting to see, with all these Kiwis coming across, whether they'll have some more tips and tricks on how to play Grace.
Well, exactly right. So I think they're doubling down on that Housby and Wecky combo next year. With Grace White is their only sort of backup goaler, which I find interesting.
Obviously, the 11th player could be a backup goaler.
I was going to say, but
teams don't do that because you want your 11th player, you want someone who can probably play multiple positions.
Yeah. But who knows? The other one is I thought Verity Simmons had a great year at the Swifts, and I think she did a lot in terms of sort of helping to lead that team. And she obviously stepped up when they needed a replacement player. But
well, as we found out, she messaged them.
Well, yeah.
I didn't know it was that easy. Maybe you should slide in.
I don't think Bryony would reply to me.
Bryony, do you need a wing defence?
I'll just get
I can play anywhere.
No. Interesting that Verity Simmons, I was hoping to see her pop up at the Giants, but that hasn't happened.
No. Well, the Giants, we'll get to the Giants. We'll get to the Giants.
But she's
do you think she's done now?
Out.
You reckon she's done?
I don't think
How old's
Simmons
Verity?
has ever done. She...
Mid-30s?
30.
Early 30s, mid-30s? We're just going to chuck it in the Google machine here. You don't need to go.
I'm typing with one finger. She's
34.
34 years old.
Yeah. Okay. She's fit as a fiddle.
Yeah.
But I think her contracts will be replacement players. I don't think anyone's going to give up a 10 spot because there's so much youth out there. And as we know, everyone's sick and tired of pathway players not being promoted.
Yeah.
And we'd hate to see another spot. Let's get into the signing grades. As we mentioned in the last one, the Fever one, the grades are a combination of how good the 10 is, but also how exciting their signing window was. We've both gone B+.
I was going to say, I think I might change mine to an A.
What now? Are you going to bring into account the Swifts' socials the way they went about it?
Nah, I don't want to talk about their socials.
It annoyed you though, didn't it?
Yeah, it's just annoying.
You didn't like it.
Nah.
It was smug. Just when's this signing? Just you get one teaser and then you post. None of this. Okay.
Just in comment sections that they shouldn't have been in. But we're not talking about the socials. The grading is entirely based on the movements in the team.
Yeah, and how good they're going to be.
Where they were at the start of the season versus the outcome at the end.
So you've gone what?
I'm changing mine to an A. Because I think being able to get Tayla Fraser back in is a
good
big
for TikTok
one.
too. Great creator.
But then, Tayla Fraser back. I think losing Sophie Fawns is underestimated. Yeah, Maddy Proud being back also is a big one. And it's always good to see a bit of a fairy tale ending with Grace White being able to come up the New South Wales pathway and get a full-time contract. So I'm giving them an A.
I've gone a B+, but it's subject to change depending on who replaces Paige.
Yeah.
Because there looks like they're going to be in a similar spot to last year, where the gun mid-quarter, which was Paige in 2025 and will likely be Maddy Proud in 2026, will play centre, and then they'll be like, oh shit, we need you in attack, and then, oh shit, we need you back in centre. So whoever replaces Paige, they'll need someone of note that can allow Proud to probably play wing attack, because that was their weakness.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting. There you go.
There you go. That's the Swifts.
That is the Swifts. So that's 3 in the can.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, tuning in, listening. Remember, you can leave ratings and reviews and comments and let us know why we're wrong and how much you hate us. But next time we'll be back with the 4th place side, the Adelaide Thunderbirds.